I have to start over again. Hello and welcome to a very special episode, Halloween edition of our lovingly crafted movie podcast within a podcast called the GameView podcast. Hey, you guys, do you remember that time when our daughter started shouting nonsense and we went to a portal or hell or whatever?
I have deja vu. We have a daughter?
We have a portal?
Yes.
I mean, I remember the time my son did that, but
we actually
it's different.
That's true. We actually
Okay,
it's different. We also have we have a portal 2 is what we have. But me neither. But I am your host, Dan Army of Darkness Rots, and I'm joined by Allison Saw X Van Devender, excuse me.
I want to play a game.
Chris Tucker and Dale versus Evil Rights.
Alan Tudyk is a national treasure.
He is.
God, he's going.
And Carrie Gremlins 2 Bowen.
care what the old Chinese man said. It's okay to feed me after midnight.
Also, Dan Army of Darkness Rots is a sick name.
That's a sick. That is a pretty sick name. Also, one of my favorite Evil Dead movie. But let's dive into this movie and see where everything lands. But first, this is a beer and video games podcast. So we are going to, or a Bevs and video games podcast. And I'm going to start by giving you guys a choice. I have two different options for what I can drink tonight. While we're talking about our movie. The first is this. It's by Free Will Brewing. It's a peanut butter chocolate imperial milk stout, and it's called Sharing Size, and it's got a spooky like death on it. Yeah, it's
pretty
called
spooky. Pretty spooky.
And then I also got the hard monster.
It's a hard monster.
Oh my gosh.
You
can't do that to yourself tonight.
I think to save you, because you have to work tomorrow, the beer.
No, but here's the thing. Now, you guys remember Four Loko? You remember that being a thing we drank in college?
I do remember. And they got rid of it because it was bad for you.
Well, yeah, because you're not allowed to have caffeine
You're
and
not
alcohol
supposed to go
in the
up
same.
and you go down.
So this doesn't have that in it. There's no caffeine in it. It's just tastes like Monster, apparently.
I see.
So
interesting.
Oh, okay. Well, I feel less bad about it now.
So I'm gonna.
That's pretty awesome.
I'm gonna save that one.
I'm gonna start. Wait. So what should I do? Say that again. What should I do?
I say save that one.
Save the
next
monster.
one.
Save
and do.
I'm not gonna save it for the next. I've got to try it still. It's sitting in my little fridge here.
Well, then
so
drink it now. I want to know.
Okay. Yeah. Do the monster.
Do the monster. If it's not like caffeinated.
And then I could always drink the other one later. So I'm gonna drink this now. Here we go. Pop it open. Let's see if it has the same satisfying monster noise. Sounds like
Couldn't hear it.
It smells like Monster.
That's so weird.
Does it taste like Monster? I like that side, like.
Oh, sorry. There you go. Now you can see the. Well, I can't drink it like that because the hole's not there. Yeah, that tastes like Monster.
That's awesome.
How
did they get the flavor without the
How does that
caffeine?
feel? Is it weird? It feels weird for me, and I'm not drinking it.
It's weird because it does taste like Monster. It kind of reminds me of the Not Your Father's like root beers, or like the Not Your Father's mountain ale, where you drink it, you're like, I could drink this like normal. Like I could have.
It could be a problem.
Like 6 of these, and I'd be okay, and I'd be fine.
Well, you probably wouldn't be fine.
You wouldn't be fine. I just want to look at it.
Is it a nice green color?
No, because Monster isn't green. It just looks like Monster. It just looks like Monster. Well, it's very chuggable, everybody. So chuggability high, very high. Be careful. It's 6% alcohol by volume, and this is a big chunker. So I'll drink this pretty quick. Next, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe. If it hollers, let it go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. It's Chris.
I'm drinking. So I had a what I lovingly call Oktoberfest last weekend.
Nice.
Allison attended. Dan would have, but he couldn't because his fiance was sick.
Nice.
So we had a lot of extra beer, so now I just have a shitload of Oktoberfest beer. Oh no!
Oh no!
So I'm drinking
Just so much beer.
Whatever would I do?
So I'm drinking Polliner Oktoberfest.
Nice.
So they are one of the 6 Munich breweries that participate in the Oktoberfest in Munich. And it's it's an Oktoberfest beer. It's highly chuggable. It's delicious, and it's just really the best. It's just got a great color. It's just
it's such a good amber. Like you gotta love that amber brown color. Also, good name for a character in a young adult novel, Amber Brown.
Amber Brown.
They're a child detective. Nice. High chuggability. Very good. Carrie.
Extremely high chuggability.
Well, I followed your advice. I went to the alcohol store.
Nice.
And I looked for cool looking bottles. And I came across this one, although it was expensive. I don't know. I was looking for like just singles because I don't drink beer like you guys. So I just wanted something for the show.
Hurtful.
And
I don't drink beer like you guys.
Well, I mean,
that's all right. We deserve it, Chris. We deserve
it.
It's
fine.
I mean, you're like happy you have a ton of beer in your house. I'm sad because I still have a bunch of beer left over from the last time because I had to buy 6 packs and I don't know what to do with it. But anyhow, so I bought this and it's called Prairie Artisan Ales. It's the basic Rebecca.
Oh,
is it pumpkin flavored?
It is. Yeah. So hold on, I gotta get my glasses out. It was $14.
Jesus.
Well, that
must be a like pumpkin stout or something. Like, so I don't know if you've seen this, Dan, but like they're starting to make pumpkin spice latte beer. Like, so it's not just pumpkin spice beer.
No,
it's pumpkin
Get
spice
out.
latte.
Get them out of here. Don't let the pumpkin spice people into
it's
our beer world.
It's a little much.
So this one is barrel aged imperial stout with pumpkin and fall spices.
Okay.
And I did get another one too.
High alcohol or high gravity.
That might be pretty high ABV.
Oh yeah, it was. Let's see, what was it? I don't know. You'll have to look it up. And I did chill my mug, but it's not chilled anymore because
nice.
Oh, it's very dark. I don't know if you can see
this.
Yeah,
that's an imperial stout for you. It's basically like chocolate milk.
Or like coffee.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. What does this taste like?
Chris, what's the over-under on her hating this?
I don't know what kind of beer she likes, so.
How much do birds normally like beer? That's a good question.
It's a weird thing.
Well, dogs love beer, so.
They do. But don't give dogs
This would actually be good as a marinade, but
a marinade.
It would. Yeah,
got a little bit of a weird, like, I don't know, it's coming off soy sauce. I don't know why.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
like
kind of a stout, like
spice, or...
like a I mean, 5 Spice might be one of the things, like one of their fall spices.
Okay, well, since I was at the special alcohol store, I also managed to pick up this.
What's that?
It's boozy
maple syrup jerky.
Ooh, that's interesting.
It's Montreal maple spice beef jerky.
Interesting. That's why.
So I thought I'd give this thing a try. They had a bunch
put
of
alcohol on
flavors.
Everything now.
That's
it also has.
Why not?
It's not like really dried out. It's
kind of juicy jerky.
Ooh,
that's good.
Okay.
It's got a spice to it. It's got a little bit of the sweet.
How does it go? How does it go with the beer? With the beer? Nice.
Does
pairs
it
well.
Pairs good?
It's supposed to. Yeah. It's supposed to pair it with a Oktoberfest, pale lager, light lager, or wheat
Chris is
beer.
ready.
Chris is ready. You picked the wrong
one. The chuggability and the munchability.
The munchability.
It is not. I cannot chug that. That's a sipper.
I would not expect you to be able to chug
if
that.
you could, that would be impressive.
I don't know if I would want to chug that.
No, I cannot chug that. These are nibblers because they're very spicy. But
And served hot?
Very good. Yum.
Would you say they're spicy and served hot?
I would say they are spicy and served hot, like my favorite Allison.
I don't have it. I don't know because it won't play. You can't hear it whenever I do it. I have to fix it.
I'm
So.
spicy.
There it
and
is.
Served hot.
Thank
Got
you.
it.
Got it.
I'm so glad that's a button. I was
somebody-
really happy. I was like, oh, it's broken.
Oh no.
Well, somebody
no,
else
what
has to do the
happened?
buttons
Was it
because I can't
Allison?
pull it up on Discord or it covers Allison's face. But Allison, what are you imbibing? What's your beverage of choice this evening?
I grabbed a fall one at Sheets. So I got cranberry smash here.
Smash.
Ooh, nice. From
Devil's Backbone. That's what I had
Nice.
last time.
Devil's Backbone.
Yes, so that is what I'll be drinking. I do already know what this tastes like though, but it's really good.
Nice.
Give us some notes. What's it evoke on the palate? That's right. I'm getting fancy with
Well,
my
it's like-
language.
It's tart. It is really very cranberry forward.
Okay.
So I really like bitter tart things. So this is one of my favorite drinks that comes around in the fall is anything with cranberry in it. So I'm a fan. This one's really good. It's like a 400 chuggability.
400. Nice.
On a scale of 10.
Jesus.
So
That's many numbers. That's so high.
She's getting drunk tonight, is what she's saying.
Happy
No, I'm
Sunday,
not.
everybody. We never try to on the podcast. There's three types of people whenever fall
We never
comes.
try to, but sometimes it just happens.
I think there's three types of people when winter comes around. There's pumpkin spice people, there's apple spice people, and then there's cranberry spice people.
And then there's October.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, there's Oktoberfest people, but technically that's like September, so
I mean,
don't know if that counts as winter. You know.
Okay.
So, do one of those.
I can do like apple and I can do this. I don't like pumpkin spice personally.
because
I don't do it.
I'm not basic. I don't like pumpkin spice. I'm not.
People could argue I'm basic, but I don't like pumpkin spice.
I'm just not that girl.
Who could argue that you're basic? I don't even know who you're talking about.
Or
But,
what that means.
Yeah, I like. fall
Well,
for
no, I know what that
cranberry.
means. My
No,
husband's a basic bitch. It's fine.
Take that,
He's
Chad.
pumpkin spice everything.
Oh no.
I'm a fan. This is a great drink, and it's 7.5%. So I won't be drinking them fast because it's Sunday.
Nice. What about games, Allison? What are you playing for games? Anything?
Oh, right. I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3. That's kind of
Nice. Nice. Still doing it.
Yeah, I'm still really enjoying it. Like I am just like really going very slowly and methodically through it. It's like the things I loved about Skyrim, but this is so much better.
Interesting.
It's more story-y. Like it's like,
Yeah.
do you find yourself letting the choices that you make happen, or do you find yourself save scumming a bit?
Oh, okay. So the save scumming thing, I am not save scumming. However, I am save scumming.
Okay.
This is what I need to be clear
So
on.
your save's coming.
there was one time I actually save scummed. And it was because I'm playing a paladin, and the paladin I'm playing, I'm modeling after an actual paladin I played in a D&D campaign.
Right. Got
So
it.
immediately I broke my oath on accident. So
Perfect.
like, I mean,
Perfect.
it's like night one. I'm playing this game. I broke my oath. I did not mean to, but I killed someone that I should not have killed, and it was completely unintentional. So I save scummed. I did there. Mhm.
Listen, that's why I got to be an Oath of Vengeance paladin. Then you just kill everybody.
It's true, but that didn't work for my character. So beyond that, I haven't, except I've broken the game, and I don't think
Whoops.
that counts. Like when you break the game and you have to reload, I don't think
That's
safe
not the
scumming.
definition of save.
Right.
That's not
scumming,
save
no.
scumming. That's like, oops,
That
I
means you
broke it.
lost.
I lost. I have to do
Right.
it.
I have broken it many ways and had to reload that way. But that is the only time I have save scummed and actually gone back.
Okay.
All
right.
I've escaped every battle and revived people instead of like having to
Good.
do that.
Good.
So yeah.
Good. Very nice. Let's go to Carrie.
Well, also playing BG3. Baldur's Gate 3. I'm playing with my friend Nightmare, and we are save scumming a lot.
I mean,
because he's a completionist, and so he wants to like do all the little stuff. He also was playing a solo mission, and when he got to the part where you load into chapter 3, it's crashing. He cannot load in. And so he's trying to, in our campaign, get some of the things that he got in his past one that he thinks would be fun for us to have. But we're also going to start a campaign on Tuesday, a brand new campaign on my stream, where we're playing it evil mode. And so we kind of picked little backstories for our character, what motivates us and stuff. So we'll start playing those on Tuesday.
Nice. And
other than that, Pummel Party.
Pummel Party.
Good old Pummel Party.
Good old Pummel Party.
Pummel
Party. Chris?
What
you doing?
So I just want to brag a little bit here.
Do it. You have a platform.
My team got in first place for Heavy Seas Brewing's trivia. For
the
season.
For the season.
For the season.
Holy crap!
That's awesome.
So we got a crisp $100 gift card to
Oh
Heavy Seas.
Hell yeah!
So then we had the finals on Saturday. It was at another bar. It's basically the two best teams from 4 different bars played at one place.
God, I love pub trivia.
We got second.
Ooh,
which is still pretty good.
That's still pretty good.
And we I don't know. It would have been nice to win, but like it.
Hey, that's a silver medal.
The last question was you had to name the 7 women named in Lou Vega's Mambo Number 5.
Did you get it?
We got it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Nice.
Awesome.
And those women are.
It was
your winger.
Monica, Erica, Jessica, Tina, Rita, Mary, and what was the last one?
You?
Did I say Jessica?
I think you said little Monica.
Did I say Jessica?
Yeah.
Monica, Jessica, Erica, Tina, Rita, Mary.
And as I continue,
Sandra and the Sun.
Sandra and the Sun.
We were just like singing it to ourselves, like trying to figure it out. We were one of the 2 teams that got it, so that's why we got the other team that got it was first.
The trumpet.
But I love that was a great last question.
That's awesome.
Mostly because we got it right, but like
I love pub trivia and how dumb the questions are.
I love it. It's so much fun. And I guess other than that, so because I went to the Orioles game last Sunday and I was sad because we walked 11 people and you can't really do that and win, so we didn't win. And I was in general a sad boy because the Orioles just didn't decide to play in the playoffs. So I was playing a little bit of Total War Warhammer 3 to make myself feel better because it's comfort food.
That's good.
Comfort food.
That helps.
Yeah, it helps. But and then Starfield, and then picked up a little bit of Planet Coaster 2 since I went to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg recently. So I've just been busy, man.
Yeah,
just been busy.
Lots of stuff. I did. I finished Lies of P. I finished it. Ooh. So that's 3 points on the whatever it is.
The non-existent thing.
The non-existent
we don't do anymore.
So I spent a lot of time in Lies of P. There's a whole mechanic where you have to you can either lie or tell the truth, and it changes the end of the game. At the very end of the game, there's like a you have to make a choice between one thing or the other. I chose the wrong thing, and I tried to save scum it. Yeah, because there's one ending that you could do every time, and then there's a different ending you can get. There's 3 different endings you can get depending on how many lies you tell. I'd been doing the most lying, and I was really trying to get the final boss and the truest ending. And then I picked the wrong thing at the end, and I couldn't go back and do it. So now I have to do a new game plus to get.
Oh.
And I tried to save scum it. So because I closed out of the ending movie that was happening, I didn't even get the achievement for finishing the game. So
buddy.
Just if you see me playing it, I'm in New Game Plus.
Brutal.
So I did finish it. I promise.
Absolutely brutal, dude.
So sad, though.
It's okay. I did it to myself. I was I picked it and I was like, I don't know if this is the right thing to pick. But I was
and it wasn't.
And it wasn't. I was panicking. But I also finished a game, Cocoon, that came out. It's a puzzle, like it's a little puzzle adventure game by the director of it is is the guy who created Inside and Limbo. Basically, you play like a little bug, and it basically is like you play with like worlds and spatial stuff. It's hard to describe, but it's a puzzler game. It's very cool. I recommend it. At one point, it did break my brain because you kind of have to like go to different like little realities. And there's at one point you go like into one and then into the same one and then into another one within the same one. And my brain exploded.
Inception.
Yeah. Inception.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I've been playing. And then I'm trying to finish Jedi Survivor because I never finished it.
Mm-hmm.
Too many good games came out.
Not enough spooky games. We're not playing any spooky games.
We're not playing any spooky games. We need to play some spooky games because we watched a spooky movie, everybody.
We did.
It's Halloween times. It's the Halloween times. So we watched, for this GameView podcast, we watched Silent Hill from 2006. This movie, 2006, directed by Christophe Gans. And written by Roger Avery, starring Rhoda Mitchell, Laurie Holden, and Sean Bean.
You can really say starring Sean Bean.
He had a prominent role in the movie.
So I think I read that like they filmed all his stuff afterwards after they filmed everything else, and that's why he's in none of the scenes with anyone else.
I mean, I think that makes sense. He's in the very first one. He's in the very first one. So here's how we're going to do: is we're going to break it into chunks. Into chunks. We're going to bring it into chunks. Allison's going to read each chunk of the plot, and then we're going to talk about that little piece of the plot.
To be fair, he's saying chunk.
No. Chuck. I'm saying chucks.
Okay.
I do.
I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
I do want to add that Christopher Gans, however you say it in French, he's directing the Return to Silent Hill, so the one that was greenlit this year.
Oh, the new one, like the new one.
The new one, yeah. That they're.
Oh, okay. Because he didn't direct the sequel.
No, and that was kind of, they want to get back to like the feel for the game because he's like a real fan of the game. And they really felt like,
I feel like you felt that too. Like you could feel that a little bit.
Yeah. Oh
yeah. He said like, the things that were so important to him were things like lighting, because that's really what the original game was about, and getting the camera to move in the way that it felt like it was moving in the game and things like that. So I'm excited that he's doing the new one.
Me too.
I watched like the reveal trailer that they had. They played it up really hard. And they revealed all this live about what they're doing with the Silent Hill franchise this year. So yeah, that was the biggest thing that I remember, is that he's directing the 2024 movie that's going to come out.
And then also the Silent Hill 2 remake is coming out too, which I'm excited for that because I haven't played a Silent Hill game in so long.
Right?
I feel like I need it. I need spooky stuff. But Allison, hit us with that plot. Tell us what happens in the beginning of this movie that keeps us all. Is Sean Bean dead in the beginning, or do we have to wait till the end for Sean Bean to die?
Yeah, good for Sean Bean. So Rose da Silva. I don't know. I say that weird. Played by Rhoda Mitchell, and her husband Christopher, Sean Bean,
I'm Sean Bean. Sorry.
I'm Sean Bean. Are disturbed by their adopted daughter Sharon, played by Jodelle Furland, constant sleepwalking and nightmares about a place called Silent Hill that's in West Virginia that was abandoned in the 1970s due to a massive coal seam fire. So desperate for a solution, Rose takes Shannon on a trip to Silent Hill to find answers. While en route, her erratic behavior concerns police officer Sybil Bennett. And I did write down who plays her, but apparently I didn't hear. I'm so sorry.
Laurie Holden.
Yeah. I was like, it's somewhere. When they encounter her at a gas station, and Rose eventually tries to lose her, but it seems she was entering Silent Hill in too much haste. She broke through the gates, and while she's barreling through, a girl steps out into the road, which causes Rose to crash and black out. So she awakens in a fog-shrouded dimension of Silent Hill, realizing Sharon is missing. And this is the beginning
Sharon, there's a lot of horror movie like yelling of the child's name at.
Yeah.
Yes. Take a shot every time Sharon's name is yelled in the beginning, and you will not make it.
You will not make
be
it
in the hospital as well.
I just want to say that she is one of the dumbest women on earth. She's like, oh man, you're having nightmares and you talk about Silent Hill in your sleep. We should go there. No, you don't do that.
Find out
That
what's
is
going
so
on.
dumb. Like, and then she does like zero research about this place. Doesn't know that it's abandoned. She's just like, oh, let's just take a nice little trip to Silent Hill. Like, what?
I want to kind of agree with you, but also part of me gets it. I think she totally did it wrong. Let me be clear. But I also get like she just wants to resolve her kids' problems, and she's at the end of her rope, and she thinks this is the best solution. So in that sense, I get it. The fact that she clearly leaves her husband out of the loop entirely and just grabs her child and runs.
Because Sean Bean was like, no. He was like, no, don't do this.
Right.
This is stupid. But it also sets up the whole plot of like meeting Laurie Holden, Sybil Bennett, certified badass.
Mm-hmm. I had a lot of like feelings for her. She was
I think everyone did.
She's hot. Yeah.
I mean, I just love her from Walking Dead.
Oh, I hated her.
I'm Walking Dead.
I hated her in The Walking Dead, so I'm glad that this made me like her again. I just think it's, but it also sets up the fact that she makes so many poor decisions when talking to a police officer. It was like, what are you trying to do? It's like, you just don't be shady around the police officer and you'd be fine, you know?
Yeah,
but instead,
I don't know why, but the other thing that was real shady, I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but that gas station they stopped at was also a restaurant and was also a tattoo parlor. What are they doing there? Like, like it had like and piercings. You could get piercings while you have dinner and gas up. Like
that sounds about right for West Virginia. I don't know. Like my family's from there, and they say I've probably been to that place. So.
I mean, I bet it's really good food.
Small town.
I mean, maybe
probably,
there's
banging food.
I bet. What else do you think that? What other restaurants do you think they would combine with the combination Taco Bell Pizza Hut? Then, if it's
a tattoo parlor,
No, I would say CBD joint or
oh yeah, or like a weed store. That would make so much money.
Depending on where you live.
That would be really good.
Yeah, Rose definitely gives like heavy ACAB energy.
Yeah, which
for like no context, we have none of that.
Yeah.
But she's definitely like feeling that pretty hard.
Yeah.
And I guess it's like implied that she's worried her husband has put an APB out on her.
Right, because she basically kidnapped their daughter.
Right, but she also had like just talked to him, and yes, he cut off the cards, but he was also being like far too supportive. So I really just feel like if she told her husband, "Hi, I need to do this," it's going to happen. He would have probably just been okay with it.
Also, he had a fuckload of money.
Yeah, that house was huge. And it's so many glass
very
windows.
White.
Yeah.
So white.
Very clean, so very modern. But yeah, so she gives very heavy energy without any context, and we just have to.
Yeah, it was all just kind of strange.
And this is also kind of where we get a departure from the game, because in the game Silent Hill, you play Christopher. You don't play Rose. You play Christopher, and he goes off in Silent Hill.
I think they wanted to set up like the mother-daughter relationship.
Yes, I agree with that, because that becomes important later. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things I read too about Sean Bean's character was that I guess when they had presented the script, there was a conversation around how that was too many females, not enough. Like there was not enough.
There wasn't a strong male character.
Right, and so they gave
Pyramid Head.
so they gave Sean Bean's character a little bit more wrote him a little bit more story in, because originally he was just at the very beginning and then at the very end, and that was it.
Interesting. So they gave him he got all the Officer Gucci moments.
Right.
Officer Gucci's.
Officer Gucci.
I can't take Officer Gucci's name seriously. Played by the guy that
Gucci.
played
Nice.
Tig in Sons of Anarchy, which I had no idea at the time. He looks a lot different without a mustache and facial hair.
Daddy, Pyramid Head Daddy. All right, let's move on to the next part. Unless anyone has anything else about the beginning here.
No, nope.
All right. Well, so clearly Rose is searching the town for Sharon.
Sharon.
And she's established that very loudly. And
why?
It's a horror movie. That's what you do.
Yes. So she's running after the girl she saw before the crash, which looked incredibly like Sharon to her. Which I don't know
what
how she's made that decision, because basically it was just a girl with dark hair, but okay.
All girls with dark hair look the same. Sorry.
Yeah, clearly.
Well, to be fair, isn't it the same actress?
Yeah, but
in that scene, I didn't go, "Oh, it's the same actress."
That's true. Yeah.
So at various points, a siren sounds in the town, and it transitions into a nightmarish world inhabited by inhuman monsters, including the handsome Pyramid Head. I edited that part from the wiki. So I hope everyone
You should edit it on Wikipedia as well.
I think I might.
You would appreciate this, Allison. Pyramid Head, the actresses were saying that they don't understand why, but the back of his costume was just open, so it was just his bare buttocks there.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful.
I feel like that's canon for Pyramid Head.
I mean, I think so too, if I'm not mistaken.
Canon. That is canon, but like we didn't need it, but I appreciate the actors.
I mean, that's accuracy for you. That's accuracy.
Yeah. So Sybil then gets to Rose. She's in her car, and she finds her. I actually really liked that scene in particular. I don't know if anybody had any opinions about that moment, but I thought that was really good.
Whenever she finds her at the car.
Yeah.
I think that was like the first moment where I was just like, I mean, you got to have like a no nonsense person, right? I'm sorry to interrupt. If there's
you're good.
Okay. Because you always have to have in horror movies, you got to have like someone who's freaking out. You got to have a no nonsense person, and then you got to have a person who buys into the whole thing. You know, those are like your three like main character tropes usually. In this one, we kind of had. So she was like, no nonsense. Like, this is what's up. I'm here. I'm a cop. You're under arrest. Give me all your stuff. And then the weird person with shows up.
A no arms guy?
No arms guy.
Yeah. He's pretty creepy.
He's pretty
kind of laughing at that scene too, because she's like yelling cop commands at it, you know, to like
yeah. I was
stop.
I was
like,
also
what?
Put your hands in the air. I can't.
I don't have. I think that's what he was trying to say.
I appreciated that for what it was, which was clearly her like trying to put reality into this moment that was so surreal. And still like gripping to there must be a way to resolve this in normal means, and then obviously there
maybe
wasn't.
You're so scared you just go into your cop training, and even though it's not logical, it's what you're trained to do.
Yeah, for sure. And so then she attempts to bring her to the local station. Obviously that doesn't work. They are trapped by a magical cliff that wasn't there before. Then
spooky cliff.
Then Rose runs away from her. Is still cuffed, but she runs away from her and learns
so dumb. Why would you do that?
Because it's a horror movie.
After you just saw this evil demon, like no arms person running at you, not a bang cop like things to do. Like just anyways.
I think I would stick with the person with a gun.
Same.
Well, you would think, but at that person again, she was very still a cab. So with no explanation, we had to know that's her personality. So she runs, and she learns of Alyssa Gillespie, who is this little girl who is clearly being tortured in this town. And she encounters other inhuman creatures along the way. Not really sure what's going on at the time. But this young girl was burned by the Brethren, which is the town's fanatical Manchian cult. And her mother, Dahlia, played by Deborah Kara Unger, is wandering the streets as an outcast, guilt-ridden over her negligence to Alyssa's suffering. While at the same time in the real world, Christopher is searching the abandoned town with a policeman, Thomas Gucci, your guys' favorite name.
Gucci.
Gucci.
The Gooch.
Played by
Opposite Gooch.
Kim Coates? Is that how you say
Kim
that?
Coates. Yeah.
Kim Coates.
Yeah.
But they find nothing. The town appears fairly normal from them to them, a sign of being abandoned and dilapidated, and they have to have masks to breathe. But it's devoid of like this fog and creatures that they're experiencing. So Gucci later reveals that he lived in Silent Hill and saved Alessa from the fire, and he encourages Christopher to end his futile search. So that's the next section.
There's a lot of stuff that happens. Did we get to did we get to the part with the skin, or is that later?
Oh, where they peel the skin?
That is later.
That is later. Okay.
Okay, so
spoilers. That'll happen soon.
Spoilers. Someone gets their skin peeled.
Yeah, so that happens just next.
Okay.
But yeah, this is all the stuff before. So this is when Pyramid Head comes in and like slashes the wall
and like goes through the door and stuff. Right.
You know, he did that in 15-inch heels.
That's what I saw.
I love that for
That's
him.
wild.
Yeah. He's a choreographer.
Slay,
so all of the
Slay.
creatures were played by dancers.
I did.
And
I saw that, and I thought that was very cool.
Yeah.
the guy who played Pyramid Head, he is a creature choreographer. So he's somebody who does the choreography for like monsters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Evil
Mhm.
creatures. But he was the main guy for this too.
I think that's a really good idea. Like, it's always a good idea to have, like, whenever you need something to look otherworldly or weird, always get dancers to do it, because they know how to move their bodies in ways that no one else
that are good.
Yeah,
And also that are weird.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That was one thing that they talked about too, was like they didn't want this movie to look disgusting. They wanted it to feel and look disturbing.
that's what.
Yeah.
Off.
And it was. I think they achieved that. And another thing about this movie, I think, like, I went back and forth thinking that, like, oh, the CGI is actually pretty decent, to, oh, this CGI is not great. And like, it was
For the
just
time, it was probably pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it was 2006. It was still. I think it was the mix of practical, like the little bug things were not like those weren't great, but like the practical
Also, the weird
things.
that like had a face was weird.
The what?
There was one bug that like was like a kind of like humanish, or like had
That's right.
and it was kind of weird and creepy. I mean, I am sure it achieved what it was trying to do.
I mean, you're creeped out by it, so yeah, I would think so.
Yeah,
That is what Hannah said, because I made Hannah watch this with me because I can't watch it by myself. I'm a scared little baby. And basically the whole time we were watching it, like anytime she was like, "Ooh, this makes me uncomfortable." And I was like, "Yeah, I think that's the point. I think we're supposed to be uncomfortable."
Yeah.
The only time I was really uncomfortable was the end scene, and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That one's something.
That's something. I really thought that less was practical applications than I realized. I watched like the special features because I have the DVD.
Mhm. That's right.
So
Of course you do.
of course
How
I
many
do.
copies of the DVD do you own?
Just one though.
Just the one?
Just the one.
Is it a
but
Blu-ray?
Is it signed by Pyramid Head?
No, it's DVD.
Oh, boy.
I got it at release on DVD. So yeah, I watched the special features, and a lot more of this movie was practical than I realized. And I think that's why a lot of it felt really good, like the fog and like things like that. They would build scenes intentionally to be able to put and control the fog better in like warehouses and
That's
things like
very
that.
cool.
Like they paved a road for that first scene where they
I
wrecked.
love that.
That's so cool.
They paved a road in a warehouse and built that wall out of styrofoam. That mountain, like that wasn't a real mountain, but it looks like the mountains that I know.
It looked
Virginia, so
pretty damn good.
I
was
had no idea.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
But they didn't want to add the fog after because they didn't feel like it would feel right.
Right.
So they
it probably wouldn't move correctly.
Mhm. So they wanted to make sure they could control it and actually have it as dense as they wanted. So I thought that was really cool.
Especially when in the games, like that's such a huge part of Silent Hill. Is
Well, it's
like
practical in the games too.
it is. Oh my god! How they do that?
I think that's the good thing about this director. Like he thought that way, you know. And that's why it felt as good as it did.
Well,
oh no, sorry. I was just going to continue. What else?
No, yeah, continue, because I'll talk about the director later because he's great.
Yes. So in the Silent Hill dimension, Rose encounters the Sharon lookalike again, and she's revealed to be an aspect of Alessa. When the town transitions into the dark dimension, like place, because they don't ever really call it anything, so I don't want to say anything there.
Yeah.
So Rose, Sybil, and Anna, who they've now encountered and have brought along on their adventure, she's one of the Brethren members.
She's nutso.
She's nutso.
She's pretty cray.
She was attacking Dahlia with rocks when they found her. And that's a theme she continues throughout the rest of the movie. Just spoiler alert. And she
sounds pretty typical of a cult, throw stones.
Throwing stones, stoning the witch. Yep.
Yeah. So they are following clues to unwrap the mystery of the town. Lots of things happen here. There's a lot to mention, so we can go back to anything you guys want. But eventually Anna alerts the darkness is coming. So then they have to flee to the old church, she says, where everybody's staying. So Rose and Sybil follow her, and they barely make it into the church. But trying to throw one more stone at Dahlia, Anna's caught out by Pyramid Head after Dahlia does a little devil horn
like devil
thing.
like the shooting the evil at you.
Yes, she does that, and suddenly Pyramid Head pops up behind her and literally flays her alive.
Yeah, he like have you ever seen like when people like skin a coney and you can kind of just sleeve them?
Skin a coney,
a rabbit or
a rabbit. Yeah.
So basically, like you can do it in such a way that you can just. Boop,
I have never wanted to watch that.
It's a thing that
hunters do that. Yeah,
hunters do that. Pyramid Head does this to this person, and Katie watched this with me too, and I was like, she was like, "Oh, wow!" and then Pyramid Head throws the skin at the door of the church,
which.
I was cheering during that part. I don't know. Maybe
she did suck.
Stone at the lady, and I was like, "Yeah, get her!"
She who throws the first stone
gets her skin peeled off by Pyramid Head.
Skin peeled off by Pyramid Head.
I do think it's interesting. I do think it's interesting that he chose to like first. He was like, okay, first I'm going to remove all your clothes, then I'm going to skin you, then I'm going to, and it's not like it was
your skin is clothes.
Smooth motion. He was just like, whoop, there it goes. Throw your skin at the door. But. Yeah,
we're laughing about it, but like it was
very upsetting.
It was pretty gnarly. It was gnarly.
It's really gross. Like
I think we're laughing about it because it was gross.
We're all traumatized.
And that's kind of the thing. Like I don't know. Like there was something about this movie, like being in my opinion, and we'll get to final opinions, but in my opinion, it's like a really good movie about a video game, but also it's just a good horror movie. And it's because it makes you feel uncomfortable like that. But it's not like needlessly gory.
Yeah.
Like everybody
she threw a stone, she deserved to get degloved by Pyramid Head.
But like you're saying this as a overarching thing about this movie and the end.
Well, but but
in general, I think.
It's all like gore with purpose. Like you get real purpose.
Gore with purpose.
That's a good.
I don't know.
That's like a band name. Gore with purpose. That's a great
Allison,
sludge metal name.
Yeah, start that band, Allison.
It's our next D&D campaign.
I really appreciate horror, I guess. And there's sometimes you're watching something and you're just like, this is needlessly gory. There's just no purpose in it. It's just gory to be gory. And this felt like good gore. Oh, I don't know. There's nothing I can say here that doesn't make me sound psychotic. I'm
riding this boat with you. We're in the same, through the gore together.
Oh boy.
Okay, Should I continue? You guys
No,
wanna
but
stop?
it's pretty well because in
Go.
this section we also get a lot of lore about the town. How basically like this town was like a bunch of people who like burned witches at the stake and whatever, and they have this whole thing. I guess not a lot of that part is revealed. Are they at the school? Is this the part where they're at the school?
We already went to the school.
So at the
we
school,
went through the hotel.
because at the school we get the revelation of because there's this the girl. Oh, what's the girl's name? Alessia. How she was like, how they thought she was a witch, and she was
basically because she didn't have a known father.
Right. So her mother had her out of wedlock,
and then she was and then she was assaulted in the bathroom at her by the janitor, and then
to purify her, according to
played by Pyramid Head.
Yeah, the Pyramid Head played the janitor as well.
Yeah.
The cult leader is Alessa's aunt.
Yeah.
So they tell her mother, like, you have to purify her now that she's been raped.
Gotta
Purify her. And so, like, they lead you to believe like her mom didn't know what that exactly meant until it was too late.
Right.
She does say you gotta purify the sin, not the sinner, or whatever she says. The line is.
Yeah.
Well, right. And that's what
kill
she's
the
saying.
sin, not the sinner.
That's what she's saying to the mom. She's saying you're the sinner, she's the sin. So she has to basically die. And that's when she realizes
because she was had out of wedlock, right?
Right. And she realizes, oh no, and then she goes and gets Gucci, not the person, not the bag.
Oh.
And
for a second I was like, wait, what? I don't remember that part. Was there a shopping montage I missed?
Yeah. They go shopping.
And tries to save her, but they're too late, and he just pulls her off the burning like thing and burns himself. That's how he burns his hands, gets her to the hospital, and that's where she resides. And you get all that backstory during this time.
There's a lot of like in this movie had very we're gonna move on in a second, I think we need to, but this movie did have a lot of like exposition moments, like where it's like, here's all the exposition in this little section, and then there's going to be action stuff from here on. You know, it was like action, exposition, action, exposition, action, exposition, action.
Cookies. It was
good. Yeah, and I kind of enjoyed that.
It was nice. It was a good like balance in the way that it was made. Roger Avery did a good job.
Well, yeah, and that also speaks to like Silent Hill. It's supposed to be kind of like sort of calm, crazy, sort of calm, crazy.
Agreed.
So
I think a lot of Dead Space is like that as well.
Yeah. That took a lot of stuff from Silent Hill though. Like Silent
Hill and
Resident Evil. Yeah. Because they were the OGs, baby.
Oh, and a random side note, I really like the little nods to the game, like the definite nods that the movie gave that some movies don't try to do, like collecting items. Like you really felt her like equipping items, and then like maybe a one-time use item, like she lost the item after she used the knife.
Yeah, she used it once and it was gone.
Yeah, and things like that, and then the officer clearly having 2 clips and never finding bullets because this town didn't have bullets around.
Makes so much sense.
So it felt really good there,
as opposed to just finding bullets and
broken boxes,
broken boxes and artifacts in Resident Evil.
I broke a vase and I found 7 bullets
and this green herb.
So I thought that was really cool, and I felt like it was like nods to the game and how those are so important in the game and things like that. So I just wanted
allegedly her cell phone also made the Metal Gear Solid sounds too. From what I read that somewhere, but
I feel like I would have remembered that.
I feel like I would have heard that too.
Me too, because my cell phone does that.
My cell phone does that too.
I thought I read that somewhere. I could be wrong.
Well, I'll have to kind of.
We'll look it up later.
It says the ringtone on Rose's phone matches that of Solid Snake every time he receives a coded message.
Oh,
that's what Wikipedia says.
All right. Thanks, Wikipedia.
Anyway. Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. It's Konami, but yeah, we should keep moving.
Sorry.
So yeah, they where was I? I'm so sorry.
They go to the hospital next, right?
No, I think you were in the middle of the Brethren.
Okay, yes, I'm here. I'm back. They Rose explores the basement. I'm so sorry. I'm bad at
No,
this.
I think we didn't. Brethren members lead Rose and Sybil to a hospital.
Yeah, because they meet Alice Krieg, who's Christabella, who is Alessia's aunt, and then they go to and then she's like, "Oh, she's in the hospital. This is how you fix things." But then this is where your daughter is. And then she sees the locket that she has, and inside is Sharon's picture, but it is Alessia. And that's when she's like, kill them whenever they go to the hospital, right?
Yeah.
And
I think where we are is so the Brethren members lead Rose and Sybil to a hospital, claiming the demon that has taken Sharon is in the basement. Once she finds an image of Sharon in Rose's locket, Christabella, the high priestess who you were talking about, identifies Sharon as having the likeness of Alessa. She decries the two women as witches and orders the Brethren to stop them. Sybil holds them off because she's a fucking badass.
She's a badass.
Sacrificing herself while Rose descends into the basement and running out of ammo while outnumbered and then smashed in the face. And then the elevator that Anna goes down goes on forever. Like, basically, I assume it's meant to be like going to hell. I assume.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Because basically all you know is it's going to them and you don't really understand except that if they want you, they're going to take you. So yeah, you just know it's like a maybe dimensional elevator that's going somewhere and has no concept of actual floors.
It's like an actual video game elevator.
Yeah, exactly.
You got that load screen happening and you're just going down. You don't know when it's
100%. That's funny.
But yeah, Sybil fucking she was so badass.
She got
absolutely
such a rough time in this movie.
Well,
she was just trying to do her best and like just be a good cop, and she was just got fucked.
Yeah, that's definitely like how she was set up the whole time. Like whenever Gucci talks about her, he's like, she's the best. You're so lucky that that's who your wife's with she is. Like she saved this other kid who ran in there and was trapped in a mine shaft and she got him out. And like all this stuff, like everything she does and everything that anyone talks about her in this movie is she's just pure good. Like she is the pure good character. No agenda other than resolving the problem. No matter what crazy shit Rose spouts, Sybil's just like, okay, we're gonna save your girl, like the end, and she just goes for it. So,
and then on the inverse, Alice Krieg, who plays Christabella, is so good as being just awful. I love
Borg Queen. Is that her?
Yep. She's the Borg Queen. She's the Borg Queen from Star Trek First Contact.
That's all I see her as. I can't picture her any other way. Yeah.
Of all the Star Trek movies, that's like not the one that comes to mind first.
But her is the Borg
I remember
Queen.
That's the one with the Borg cube and Data falls in love and
sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, that one. Go ahead.
She's just cemented as that character in my brain. Just
you always see her
that image. As
that. I don't know. Now I kind of always see her as this because it's like, ugh, she's so awful.
Did so well. Yeah, she did really well in this.
I love a good bad guy. I love a good bad guy. And I think that this movie did a really good job because it's different from the game. This is another thing that's different from the game. In the game, Dahlia is the bad guy. In this one, it's Christabella. And I think it was a good call just because I think it was like kind of like the duality of man sort of stuff where it's like she has her mom and then her aunt, and her mom is kind of like this sort of like a good-ish character, but her aunt is a bad character.
I guess it would probably gives her like more reason why her mom would maybe go along with and trust her sister a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Yeah. But then they go to hell. Then everyone goes to hell.
Yes. So Rose is then in the basement, which she explores. But it's barricaded by a group of disfigured nurses, is what the wiki said, which are
I love that
level-head
scene.
nurses.
That's a good scene. Yeah.
They filmed
Yeah.
that backwards. Well, they filmed
that's
it backwards, but they filmed it of them. They walked backwards in that scene.
Yeah, they did everything in reverse, and then they played the film forward so that they, or at least the initial part, whenever like they're just like she makes
Yes.
noise and they start walking towards them. Again,
Interesting.
that's why you
Yeah,
get
that's
dancers, baby.
super
Mhm.
cool.
That's cool.
And
Yeah.
that's why it looks extra off, which is really
Ugh.
cool.
Yeah, it's super cool.
It's very creepy.
So she sneaks past them and enters Alessa's room. And in a flashback, you realize Alessa was, officially stigmatized for all these reasons because she was born out of wedlock. Christabella convinces Dahlia she needs to purify Alessa. We kind of already talked about that. And then she was immolated in a ritual in 1974. And Dahlia and Gucci tried to save her, but were too late. And that is what ended up causing the ignited coal seam fire that caused the town to burn. So
Whoops.
really, the ritual is what did it. Like they caused their own demise there. So Gucci
It's so funny.
Alessa to the hospital.
Gucci.
And that's where she stayed, hospitalized and
Gucci.
in horrible pain. Yes. So the rage from all of that actually split her soul apart, basically. So one half was manifested as this dark entity, the devil, if you will.
Mhm.
And then the other one was her good and everything pure that was still left.
I
in her.
misunderstood that then. I thought it was like a dark entity had come to her and like felt sorry for what happened to her and was like, "Here, let's give you powers."
No,
I
it was-
misunderstood.
It was like her like soul split basically.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
They didn't explain that super clearly, so I get where you're coming
No,
from.
yeah.
So
yeah,
Sharon
she's-
was the good one, and Alessia was the dark one.
And
No,
Alessa
Alessia was the
Alessa was the
no,
good one,
Alessa was
and
the bad
Dark
one.
Soul was the bad one. But there was
Alessa-
like 3 characters, I thought.
so her
So there's
soul,
Sharon.
There's Alessa, Dark
Yeah,
the
Alessa,
real
and
girl.
Sharon.
Yeah, it
Right.
gets confusing. There's okay, yes, there's Dark Alessa. There's Alessa who is controlling
Right.
everything kind of like
Got it.
psychically.
I
So
understand
she
now.
still is like she's the puppeteer, so she's still Alessa and Dark Alessa are the same. It's just one is her soul and one is her body, I guess. And then there's Sharon, who Dark Alessa took to the orphanage and said, you need to be protected, basically, because if she was there, she was vulnerable. So that's when she was adopted, obviously. And desperate to find Sharon, Rose allows Dark Alessa's spirit, the devil, into her body, which allows her to access the church because she wasn't able to due to their devoutness. So then Sharon was being kept and protected by Dahlia, we find out, since she arrived, I guess. And
Mhm.
she was found and captured by the Brethren. So
And then
And then
let's just let's
literally.
Yep. And then, but not before Sybil goes out like a boss. Like,
Oh man, that scene, I have to say, like, I
Felt so
think
bad
that
for her.
what they did to her, it was worse than being burned at the stake. That version of being burned at the stake,
Like just being
Like-
like a little bit above it.
ugh.
yes, and then
Yeah, the
slowly
slow death.
having your
Mhm.
skin just heat up and start melting
Peel.
off.
Yeah.
Oh, I cannot imagine.
That was gross. But like before that, we were like, she was dead. Like before that, whenever they were beating the
so, yeah.
shit out
I
of her,
thought she was dead.
I thought she was dead already. And then they like show it. She's like still alive. I'm like, okay, yes, queen, get it. Like, and then they're like, oh no. But even then she's like, oh, whenever she starts yelling, like screaming for her mom, I was like, I couldn't
Yeah.
even, like, I was just it was too close. Hannah and I were both like not looking at the screen. We were both like going like this, like hiding your face just to be like, I don't want to watch it. Maybe if I don't watch it, it won't be
When
happening.
Sharon was screaming for her mom.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, for sure. And I think kudos to the actress who did Sybil too, because that felt real. Like she did really well when she was being lowered down, and like the expressions.
She's a
and everything
badass.
else.
That
Yeah.
actress is amazing. That's
Laura-
why I loved Andrea. Even though I mean, Andrea as a character in Walking Dead is, yes, she's made to be hated, but that what I love is the actress that portrayed her.
Yeah,
Did such
Laurie-
an amazing job.
Laurie Holden's good. She does some good work. She also did she was in The Boys. She played Crimson Countess in that recently.
Yeah. She's awesome.
You get caught up on that. Cool. Yeah, so the Rose arrives right before Sharon is killed, obviously, as you guys were kind of implying, and confronts Christabella. She accuses her and the townsfolk of being murderers and were the ones who actually caused everything they were living through. And before she could like really get finished with her whole spiel, Christabella just kind of stabs her in the heart.
And then it becomes a Pinhead. What's that? What's the
Hellraiser.
Hellraiser movie?
Hellraiser.
It suddenly becomes a Hellraiser movie.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So like, what's Alessa kind of comes up on like from hell, basically
On the
using,
gurney.
like-
oozes out of Rose after she's stabbed.
yeah.
And then hell's exposed where she had oozed out, and then she comes up.
It's barbed wire. Just
The barbed wire tentacles.
ugh.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
on
like,
the bed with barbed wire tentacles. Yes.
The tentacles go up in
Yeah.
Christabella. Oh, God.
Christabella.
Like,
I was like, oh, and then like
Which made me
just-
think of Evil Dead, because they do
splits
that
her
in Evil
apart,
Dead.
like, oof,
they did.
Mhm.
And
absolutely
I mean,
brutal.
the symbolism here, this movie reminds me a lot. It takes a lot of things from like Japanese horror, in my opinion, because there's a lot of like different levels to things.
The tentacles.
Well, but mainly the symbolism of the tentacles, because Christabella's whole thing was just like, oh, you're impure, she's impure, you have to be
Yep.
and she was just like, and to her, she's like, oh, I'm still pure, nothing can happen. So
Not anymore.
Alessia's like, well, guess what?
Joke's on you.
And then saws her
Yeah.
in half with barbed.
Absolutely,
Ugh. Oh, God.
absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal.
Side
Yeah,
note,
that was intense.
this peanut butter chocolate stout is very good from Sharing Size. Just wanted to put that in there. But anyway, let's
Okay.
go back to the.
That's the perfect scene for you to talk about.
Yeah, let's go back to the. Because that happens for a while and it's very upsetting.
Yes. So that happens, and Alessa also grabs all the rest of the townsfolk and kills them with the barbed wire, except her mother, Dahlia. She leaves her alive. So Rose rescues Sharon in this time, and it's implied that Sharon, Alessa, Dark Shannon, all of them, if you will, like
Sharon.
combine back into one.
Yeah, because she definitely seems changed after that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never said, but you see Dark Alessa like over her right before she puts her to sleep, basically. And then when they come to, Rose and Alessa leave the town and return home, and Dahlia's like, "Oh, why am I alive?" And then they hit that little line that they say, which is to a daughter, mother is God.
Yeah. Exactly.
So then when they return home, like you can tell that Sharon isn't behaving like she normally does.
Yeah, she's a little creepy. She's doing creepy stuff.
She's
Yeah,
she's being creepy.
She's
And
a
Sean Bean
little
comes back.
empty shell.
To the movie at this point.
Yes, and upon arriving, you can tell like everything's foggy. Seems like they're still in this other dimension, separated from the reality that Chris is in, because when they show him in the house, everything is rainy, but there's sun, like there's natural light and things like that. And he awakens alone in the real world, staring at the seat that Rose is sitting in, but he can't see her. Alessa goes back into her room to theoretically summon demons. We don't really know.
Draw
Yeah.
pictures or
Uh,
something. Who knows?
Yeah,
Play with
the
maybe.
ending is very like
I mean, it made me
very
feel like
open ended.
Yes.
it made me feel like they were dead all along. Like maybe she had died
Well-
in the wreck in the beginning, and
Yeah.
That's a good point.
That's kind of the symbolism to it, isn't it? It's like where they could have been dead this whole time. Like, and if Silent Hill is to be And now we're at the end of the movie. Nothing feels good. You feel bad. Everything is bad.
Yeah, the door's open, so you feel like they're there, but they're not really there. You're getting all these clues, and that's kind of where they end it for you.
But hey, guess what? Sean
No
Bean
happily ever after.
still alive, everybody.
Still alive.
Still alive. He made it. I will say
yeah,
He was dreaming the whole thing. It was, all
It was a
fever
Jacob's
dream.
ladder. It was a Jacob's ladder situation. Is that what it was?
well, I mean, they took some of that as an influence for the movie, I believe.
Oh, you're right. They did.
Plot
Son of-
twist. Sean Bean was dead the whole time because he's Sean Bean and he can't survive a movie.
But Sean Bean sees dead people.
He does. So it's the same. It's different. It's the same.
I
did
will
not
say I
see
noticed
them.
at the beginning of the film, like, he did a not great job covering up his British accent.
Oh, of course not.
It was
Sean
pretty
Bean.
bad. It was pretty bad.
Well,
I mean-
yeah, and the actress who plays Rose, she has an accent, and I didn't hear it once. I didn't have any idea she had that until I watched the post scenes. So
Apparently, they had a really hard. Apparently, Laurie Holden and Rada Mitchell had a really hard time doing scenes together because Rada was very, she would do it not in character the first time. Like they would do a take, she wouldn't do it in character, and then they do it a second time and they do it in character. But Laurie Holden was dropping it all, throwing it down on the table every time that they were doing it. So she was getting really tired because they had to do that, which, I mean, it's a method. So there's nothing wrong with it. It's just come on, let's get together.
Interesting. Yeah.
But
This is true or not, but I did also read that Rada actually didn't wash her hair the whole time.
ooh,
She
Gross.
was playing to make her just look more and more disheveled. And then if you watch her clothes, they slowly change the color of it. It's very, clean
It's
and
white
nice in the
and
beginning. And then
light-colored.
light colored, and then they slowly start darkening it up till eventually it's all red at the end.
Yeah,
I did
saw
see
that.
that.
I
I did.
noticed that.
I thought I noticed that, but I was also attributing it a lot to oh, it's a horror movie. There's just blood on
Right.
everything.
Right. No, it was
Yeah.
it was intentional.
I thought it was really silly that she had her phone on a necklace.
That was was
Was
that
kinda
a
silly.
nod to the video game? Because I know in the game it's your cell phone lets you know that there's bad things around.
possibly.
I think it was the actual issue of Girl Clothes, which you don't understand, and she had no pocket.
And
No
phones
pockets.
were
Thank
thick.
yes. Right.
Yeah. So she didn't have a backpack like you would in a video game, right? So she had no way of holding this phone. And it was a solution to the age-old girl problem of I'm wearing a skirt with no pockets. What do I do? And she needed that phone to call Chris's character, Chris.
Sean
The whole
Bean's character,
time.
Chris.
Yes. And leave these cryptic messages he couldn't really understand because of the static.
I
So
mean,
she had to keep
typically
that phone.
we just shove it in our bra, but I guess they didn't want to do that. So.
She was
Yeah,
running around a lot. That would be hard. That would be different. That would be difficult.
No, we do.
So-
That's what we do.
So two things just overall about this. Leela was also with us while we watched it, and she was at the end not a fan.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
all the yelling and screaming.
All the yelling. That makes sense to me.
She was very concerned, and I felt bad about that. But also, I had to watch it, and it had commercials every so often.
Oh no!
And that was kind of nice. That was a
It
nice
took
little
you
break.
out of it for a little bit.
Yeah.
I watched
As
it.
a
I
person
watched it
that
with
doesn't,
commercials.
as a person that doesn't do a lot of scary movies, that was a nice little breather every.
I thought about that while I was watching this. I kind of
Yeah.
forgot how intense this one was because I hadn't watched it in a while. And while I was doing it, I was like, "Oh, I feel like this is going to be too rough on the boys. I'm sorry."
No, it worked out. It was yeah.
I watch. I don't like scary movies. I like thrillers, and I like movies that have some thought behind them. Before we started the podcast, Carrie and I were talking about all the freaking Mike Flanagan stuff, like Hush, the Haunting of
Hill
Hill
House.
House, The Haunting of Bly Manor,
Yeah. Fall of the House of Usher.
Fall of the House of Usher, Midnight Mass, all those things.
Oh,
because
Midnight Mass. Yes.
Hannah rewatched that, and I couldn't do it because the first time we watched it, it made me so uncomfortable that I couldn't do it again. I literally couldn't.
Oh, I love
Um,
that one. I love
It's
horror
really
movies,
good.
so-
It's vampires done super well, but
yeah.
it's no, thank you. But this movie I could do because it had more thriller actiony sort of stuff. So I could kind of there's like horror movies and then there's like action horror movies which are a little bit different, you know?
Yeah. I agree with that. And like I can do like the thrillers and the action horror, but like I don't like I think it's just the jump scare movies that I don't like.
Yes.
Like I like creepy horror movies, and I like classic horror like Dracula and that sort of thing.
You know, they just
Blah.
released the
Like Bram Stoker's
Goosebumps on
Disney Plus
Disney with Justin Long.
I'm
And
actually
Jack Black?
Amazing. No, Jack Black.
Jack Black was in one of them, right?
he was in
This
like
is
the
a
movie.
series.
This is a
This
series
is a
on Disney
series.
Plus.
He
Yeah.
was in the house, the clocks in the walls or something.
That too, but he played R.L. Stein in the Goosebumps movie that they came out with.
Okay.
Yeah, wasn't it called the clocks in the wall or the house?
No, that's different. That was a movie called The House with a Clock in Its Walls, which is I think that's an R.L. Stein book that was turned into a movie. I could be wrong. Don't quote me.
Got it. Well, I watched the first episode and it's good. And I
Nice.
love
That's
Justin
awesome.
Long.
We'll check it out. It's Halloween times. Hold on. This is off topic. When should you watch A Nightmare Before Christmas? Is this a Halloween movie? Is this a post-Halloween movie?
Yeah.
I think it's anywhere from October to December.
Okay, got it.
It's a Christmas movie in our household.
It's both.
Yeah, I watched it.
No,
at least once
Grayman,
a
don't
year.
quote it.
I watch it at least once a year, and it depends on when I have time. But I either do it during Halloween or Christmas. It's both to me.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Awesome.
But yeah, I think just like overall as a general theme of this movie, like some of my favorite things were the look and feel of it. Like I really do think the directing was great and the cinematography just in general and the visuals they did really well on. Like the ash, the way they had the ash falling, a lot of that was practical again, and I feel like that really helped with the visual a lot. And they just kind of spewed that everywhere. The way they did the muted colors, like I kind of thought they were filtering it, and to some extent they did, but they painted those worlds to have those muted colors too, more than it was just filtering, and it just makes it feel really nice. The way that they built the anxiety was always good when they brought in the sirens, you know.
Yeah, you could really tell, from researching it, Christoph Gans really, he petitioned for 5 years to do this movie, and he only got to do it because he sent things he shot on his own money as test footage to the creator of Silent Hill, being like, "Hey, can I please do this?" And he was like, "Wow, all right, cool, yeah, you got it." That's like you did what you want. And also, a side note, Christoph Gans has a film he directed called Brotherhood of the Wolf. That's very very Bloodborne-esque looking. So I think I might have to watch that.
Yeah,
it's in French, but you know,
this super made me a huge fan, and that's why I was so excited they're bringing him back for Return to Silent Hill.
Yes, that is very good.
Because and the music, the way he interwove the music.
It was it was very interesting music choices, and sometimes it was kind of in more electronic, intense music. Other times it was more classic stuff.
Well,
so I don't know.
There was only one song in there that was not video game music. I can't remember what the song was.
Pretty much all of the music was from the video game.
No, all of it. Not pretty much.
Yeah.
All
That's
of it.
pretty cool.
Only one song was not video game, and I can't remember which one it was, but
we'll look it up later. Or if you know, tell us.
Yeah.
But that is very cool. I read that while I was watching. I was like, wow, it's wild that it fits so well. Yeah. Cool. Does anyone have anything else? Anything else that they wanted to bring up before I get to the money parts of it?
No.
Mm-mm.
Carrie?
No, I think that's all of my notes. I think I got all of it.
Yeah, I hear you.
Except for that, I love Patience Buckner in Cabin in the Woods.
Patience,
who's played by the Alyssa Sarah
She did a lot of creepy girl roles.
She's
know,
good at that.
There's once you are cast as a creepy girl, like the Ring girl,
you do it well.
You're like, yep, that's it. That's me forever. That's what I'm typecast as.
Creepy girl.
It's funny because the director, when he was like interviewing her, he was just like, you got to play basically 4 different characters in this. Is that going to be okay? And he goes, you're going to really just kind of need to play the devil. And she was like, yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine. And he's like, oh,
typical little girl.
Yeah. Also, you're going to need to play a little girl. And she was like, oh, I've never done that.
That's hilarious.
So that was the hard
Oh,
part
no.
for her.
Oh, no. All right. Well, for this movie, this wonderful film, we don't have an exact budget. It's around $50 million is what we estimate. And the domestic gross was $46 million. The international gross was $53 million. To date, it's $100 million worldwide. So, it's made its money. It made its money back. So not necessarily a flop. I
mean, they made another one.
And they did make another, and they're making another one. I've got to pull up the box office.
I never watched
rankings.
the second one, but wasn't it like Revelations?
It was bad, apparently.
And it was in 3D. It was a movie that was made to be in 3D, and it wasn't the same director. So, so this movie came out in 2006. All right. Domestic box office rankings have Silent Hill as ranking 69th for the year.
Nice.
The sex number. This was beat. So just for everyone's, in 2006, the movies that had come out in the top were Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest came out at number 1. Cars came out this year. That was number 2. X-Men The Last Stand came out, which is a terrible movie, but that was number 3 for this year. This movie had a lot of really bad movies that somehow did good, like X-Men The Last Stand. Superman Returns was number 5.
Is that the one with Kevin Spacey as
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
But we did get Casino Royale that year, which was good.
Oh, that was good.
And The Devil Wears Prada. So, but this came out 69th. 66 through 68, we had When a Stranger Calls, Hostel, and Nanny McPhee. And this beat out Nanny McPhee. I do love that movie.
I love that movie.
And this did beat out movies like Apocalypto, Lady in the Water. Wow. The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh, okay.
The Grudge 2 and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning. There are a lot of horror movies that came out this year, which is interesting.
Yeah, I feel like that was a thing back then. There was a lot
which
of
was
horror
filmed
movies.
here, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
No, well, yeah, that's
down. It was filmed down the street from me, actually. It's a big shopping center now, but they moved the house from it into a little town not too far from here, and you can actually go there and eat. It's a restaurant, and they named it Hoopers now.
Hoopers,
after the director or whatever.
Hoopers. So in the chat, if you have any questions that you want us to answer about this movie, please let us know. Put those there. In the meantime, while you're doing that, we're going to give our personal rankings for this. Whether we think this is a good movie. Allison, go like this with your camera real quick.
I was going to, but I don't think there's any fixing it. It does this every once in a while, and
she's a
just
ghost.
It makes it worse.
You look like Bigfoot. You're a blurry monster.
I know. I'm so sorry. You guys keep going. I'll see if I can fix it.
Let's.
There you go.
There, it's perfect. Carrie, we're gonna go to you first. So, number 1, would you recommend this movie?
Yeah, actually, I would recommend this movie for people who like horror movies.
All right, and using our perfectly accurate trademarked Gamebrew rating system, TM.
Okay.
What would you rate this movie?
So out of 5 pyramid heads, I would give this a 4. 4 out of 5 pyramid heads.
4 out of 5 pyramid heads. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right. Chris, what about you?
So I'll say maybe about out of like 5 creepy sirens. I'll give it 3.5.
3.5 creepy sirens. Would you recommend this movie to anyone?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's not a good movie for everyone, but I think that, definitely Silent Hill fans, I would say for Silent Hill fans, it's good. Yeah.
I think so.
I'm looking at Allison and like, yeah.
She's just
she bought the movie. She owns the DVD.
She owns it. Come on. She spent real money on this. I mean, I only spent $3 to rent it, but other than that,
I didn't even do that.
So like, I think it's pretty solid.
All right. Allison?
I give it 9.5 pyramid heads out of 10. I actually think it was really good. I'm probably giving this movie a lot more like than it's due credit for it. But I think in general, as a video game movie, it's very honorable.
I agree with that.
Does take adaptation where it's needed in a creative way that I feel good about. Is it the video game? No, and I don't want it to be. It's a movie, and they took like the core of what Silent Hill is and brought it in a really good way.
Ooh.
The music's there, the vibe is there. Does the plot have to be one for one? Not for me. And in general, I just really liked it. Were there some shortcomings in CGI and things like that? Sure, but in 2006, I was cool with it. And it still just holds a special place in my heart, I guess. Plus, I just learned there's pyramid head butt. So it just got extra points for me, and I really like it. So I always suggest this as a good one to people who like horror movies in general.
Yeah.
Because I think it's just a good horror movie overall, even if you don't know anything about a video game. But it also is one that makes a fan like me happy. So good job.
I have not played Silent Hill, by the way.
Okay. All right.
So I'm approaching it only as a video, like a movie.
Yeah, same.
I'm gonna give it 8 out of 10 Sharons! because I agree with the sentiment. Like, coming into this, like Hannah would tell you, like watching this as just a scary movie, it made you very it was very unsettling, but not in a way that made it unwatchable. And also, like, there was a plot, there was action, there was stuff that happened.
There was a mystery. I like it.
It was a mystery. You got to like figure out what's going on, and I think that really made it good. And the same thing Allison said, where it was like, it wasn't exactly the video game, but it was a really good homage to the video game. Like, it took all of the right things and made them the right way. It took a lot of things from sort of that style of Japanese horror, because it is the Japanese horror set in America. And it just kind of took all of those elements and made it work as a film. Like, I was the right amount of scared, uncomfortable, and mad, because a good horror movie makes you mad at the people who caused the problem in the first place. You're just like, you all are the worst. And
it's like they make them tragic villains kind of thing. Yeah,
it's like, you deserve what's coming to you, even though it's really gross to watch the thing that's happening to you happen to you. But so yeah, I'm gonna give it 8 out of 10 shirts, because it is really good. And then we get to the part where we have to rank it in our list of movies.
Top of my list.
All right, Allison, we'll put that on there. That's Chris's job. Chris usually does that, so I'm going to let him do it. And then let's go to Carrie. What about you? You've got Warcraft.
Right under Warcraft.
Okay. So that's second out of your list. Okay. Chris, what about you? Where do you think?
I think that for me, it's going to go also under Warcraft.
So that's third.
That's third.
Chris is putting it third. So Chris's list goes. So Allison's
Rampage.
goes. Yeah. Okay. Allison's goes Silent Hill, Warcraft, Super Mario Bros. Carrie goes Warcraft, Silent Hill, Final Fantasy.
For me, I'm Rampage, Warcraft, Silent Hill.
Yada yada.
Yeah.
I think. Did I like this more? Did I like watching this more than Super Mario Brothers? I I think I did. I think I like this more than Super Mario Brothers. So I think this is third on my list too. I think this is going to be. I think it's going to be.
Wow, that was a pretty good one, huh?
Yeah.
I think that might be like one of the most universally liked movies we've done so far.
Yeah, 'cause
Interesting.
It's just a good movie.
I think, yeah. I think in
And
general.
what's interesting is that like it only has like a 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like so
Really?
it's like not reviewed well.
On IMDb, it has like a 7 point. It's like a 7.
So I think
6.5.
I think it's like a cult classic kind of thing.
Yeah, I think people just like it. People just like this movie. People like Silent Hill, which is wild.
And I think it's because it's easy to watch it and still appreciate it, even if you don't know anything about the video game.
Right.
It's still just a good standalone horror movie.
Very good voicing of that thing. It has some nominations. Oh, Radha Mitchell was nominated in 2006 for the AFI Best Actress Award. And
see, the only thing I really remember her from is Pitch Black.
wait, she was in Pitch Black?
Pitch Black?
Yeah.
Oh, she was Carolyn. Holy crap. Holy crap. Young Vin Diesel with his weird
Yeah,
sunglasses.
Young Vin Diesel.
Oh
He
yeah.
kills you with a mug. Isn't that what he killed him with? A mug?
Teacup.
Yeah. He's
Teacup.
like, I'm gonna kill you with this teacup in a second.
Mhm.
I mean, honestly, he said that to me in that voice.
You could kill me with a teacup, it'd be fine.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time. All right. Well, that is going to be it, unless there's any questions in the chat, which I don't see any. But of course, if you have any, please go into our Discord, bit.ly/discobrew. Put any questions for us you have about our watching of this movie. We're going to have to pick a new movie to do soon.
Can I throw some suggestions?
What are your
I have
suggestions?
I have two suggestions.
Okay.
So one of them isn't out yet, but it comes out on the 27th.
Okay.
In theaters and on Peacock, which is Five Nights at Freddy's.
Ooh, I am interested in watching that movie because I do like what's his face.
Yes, from Hunger Games.
Yeah,
What's his name?
Peter Mellark. I don't remember what the actor's name is.
Josh something.
Josh
Hutcherson?
Hutcherson.
Is that it?
Hutchinson.
I don't know.
Right.
I'm pulling it out of the air. I don't know.
It's Peter. It's Peter Mellark.
PETA, we know.
And
who
then
you're
the other suggestion I have is Werewolves Within. I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard
Oh,
good things about it.
That's written by Josh Rubin.
No
Is
way. That's so cool.
Or written or directed, one of those. We love Josh Rubin here.
We love Josh Rubin on the podcast.
So those are my two
Uh,
suggestions.
I watched that in theater. It's very good. If you want a good movie,
It also has the AT&T girl, correct?
It does. It does.
It does.
Advent Children, Nightmare. I don't think that's long enough. That's only like 40 minutes or something like that, right? Advent Children.
They'll do it sometime.
We'll
We
do
have
that at
it
some
on
point.
DVD.
We do.
Yeah.
Here.
You do?
I
don't have it.
Katie had it.
I thought you said
I
we
do
as
as
in
well.
like you and me. I'm like, Chris, how are we
No,
sharing that DVD? We live in
as
different
Kate-
states.
We as Katie and I.
I don't know. What do you got? Well, we'll put it up to the Discord. We'll put it in the Discord. We'll choose either Werewolves Within or Five Nights at Freddy's.
I kind of want to do Werewolves Within just because
I like all the actors in it. That's true.
I like Josh Rubin.
But I'm also interested in I want to know, like, what are they going to do with Five Nights at Freddy's? You know,
We'll put
Like,
those two up, and we'll
I'll
see
put
what
them in the-
everybody says.
I'll put them in the
we'll
Discord.
We'll put Advent Children on there for you, and
Yeah.
we'll do that later.
Yeah, we'll do that
The
later.
actress in it is also who is she?
I don't know. But as you're looking that up, I'm going to do all the rest of the stuff. So we're going to put that poll up.
Mary
in,
Stuart Masterson.
Yes, Mary Stuart Masterson. We're going to put that poll up in the
June.
Discord. bit.ly/discobrew, DISCOBREW. Remember to like and listen to the podcast. If you're watching right now, awesome. Keep doing that. Every 2 weeks we'll be here. And if
Love having you. Thank
we love having you here.
Love you.
If you're listening to it on the podcast feed, thank you for listening. Remember to tell your friends, tell your mom's friends to listen to the podcast. Follow us on social media everywhere at the Game Brew. If you want to, you don't have to, because we're kind of on social media, but we're not exactly on social media.
We're there, sort of.
We're kind of there. More so, come to our Discord. If plugs, Pip, plug your stuff.
So I have a streaming schedule posted on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Pipita, Pippita. My next stream will be on Tuesday. We will be starting Evil running of Baldur's Gate. And then on Thursday and Friday, I'm building the Sanderson sisters Lego house.
Ooh,
that's awesome.
That one looks so cool, and I was so close to buying it, but I didn't. Instead, I bought Luke Skywalker's land speeder. Allison, plug your stuff.
Hi, I'm Allison. I plan to soft launch streaming again next week, and
Nice.
so I don't know which day exactly yet, but I'll post it on the Discord. So go there, and you can come hang out if you want on Halloween weekend for my streaming. It's Finalia. Hi. Okay, that's it.
Twitch.tv/Finalia.
Or be
Chris.
square.
Yeah.
Plug something.
To giggity.
Game Brew.
Your drains. Don't waste water. And that's it. I don't have anything to plug. You could watch. I just played the Modern Warfare 3 beta. I didn't stream it, but it was pretty fun. Modern Warfare 3 will come out in November, so check that stuff out. We get to check HR doing forms, Nightmare says.
That's me. I'm HR. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's what she does. But you can follow me at twitch.tv/TubeChris if you want to. It's fine. I just play Call of Duty. That's mostly it. The duty. I do. I know it's the same game that comes out every year, but hey, same thing with Madden, you know?
But you like it. So
I love it. So we're going to end the podcast portion by saying what we say whenever we end the podcast, which is good night, everybody.